Hey guys, it's Taylor. We're just gonna get it right into it today. So you can go ahead and meet me in downward facing dog. Push through your index fingers, lengthen through the spine and roll the tips of the shoulders away from the ears. Sink your heels down towards the mat, bend your knees if you need, if the hamstrings are really tight. And then with your next inhale, we're gonna take a twisted down dog. Widen your stance if you need to, and then start to take the left hand and reach it to the outside ankle. The outside part of your right ankle. And gaze through your right armpit. Take a few breaths here. Really continue to push through that right index finger and keep the heels sinking down towards the mat. Your next inhale, the left hand comes back to where it was. Switch outside, so now the right hand reaches the outer part of the left ankle. Gaze through the left armpit, twist through the belly button. Allow the heels to sink down towards the mat. And the left arm still engaged and pushing the hips up and back. And then your next inhale, the right hand comes back to where it was, downward facing dog. Move to high plank or to tabletop position, depending on where you'd like to take your chaturanga from. Your next inhale, shift your shoulders past your wrists, lower down halfway while you squeeze your elbows in towards your rib, flip your toes, and then inhale, draw the chest up as you pull the low core in and roll the tips of the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, this time come down to your knees. Push the hips back to almost embryo pose so the knees stay where they are. Reach the arms out towards the top of the mat. Maybe come onto the fingertips. Let the forehead find the mat just for a second. And then as you inhale, draw the chest back through, back to upward facing dog. So find the tops of your feet so you can push into them. Roll the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep that low core pulled in. And then with your next exhale, start to lift through the belly button and the hips. Flip the toes when you're ready. Downward facing dog. Where we'll meet. Pedal out the legs. Take a few breaths here. And then with your next inhale, the right leg's gonna lift towards the sky. Three-legged dog. Inhale, lift the heel a little bit higher, but keep the pinky toe dialed down so that you keep the hips square. Try not to open the hips here. And then with your next inhale, start to open the hips. So start to shine the hips towards the side wall. Just for the moment, for three-legged dog, the leg goes up and it's straight. To open the hip, then you point the toes towards the right wall. Start to bend the right heel towards the glute. Gaze through the right armpit. And if you don't want any more, you can just stay here. If you'd like more, slowly start to bend your left knee. Plant your right foot behind you. Shift your weight onto your left hand. Reach the right arm up. Flip the feet so they point the back of the mat, and then lift the hips like you're in bridge or wheel pose. And then with your next inhale, the right hand's gonna start to come down as you start to pivot onto the left toes. How slow and controlled can you take it? Reach the left heel high, the back pinky toe dialed down so that the hips stay square this time. And then your next inhale, slowly start to bend the knee to the chest, high plank, Vashisthasana. So here you can either modify by putting the right foot on the ground, or you can hover and challenge yourself. So the left arm is gonna reach up, the right arm is gonna either hover and extend, maybe you keep it bent in to your chest and then extend, or maybe it just finds the ground and helps your hips lift a little bit more. With your next inhale, the left hand comes down, downward facing three-legged down dog, the right leg sweeps high again, and then exhale, bring the right knee to the right wrist, pigeon pose, slowly let the hips drop down towards the mat. Stay evenly rooted through both hips. If you need a little bit of support here, grab a block underneath the front hip or the front glute to help support you. Wherever you are though, slowly start to lift the chest, lengthen through the left leg. Take one inhale here. And then exhale, slowly start to lower down to sleeping pigeon. So try and get the elbows on the mat if you can. Rest the forehead on the hands, or maybe even all the way on the mat. For pigeon pose, your heel can either come all the way out, like a 90-degree angle here. This can be really difficult for some people. Most people find their pigeon pose here with the heel tucked in, but it's important to know that all are correct and all are pigeon pose. But stay in your sleeping pigeon with the forehead rested. Just taking deep breaths, feel the belly push against the thigh. I'm trying to stay lifted here so you can still hear me talk, so if you're watching me, don't do what I'm doing, let the forehead fall. As you breathe, feel the belly push against the leg. Again, try and stay evenly rooted on both hips. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to lift the chest, come back onto the fingertips, the hands, and then tuck the back toes to the mat so that you can start to push through them and lift the hips back up to three-legged downward dog. The right heel lifts high again, keep the leg closed, and then exhale, open the hip. You can start to draw circles on the ceiling. It's a good counter pose for pigeon, what we just did. And then with your next inhale, bring the right leg through to low lunge, plant the foot between the hands and bend the back knee, plant it on the mat. And then your next inhale, full low crescent, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Pull the low core in, roll the tips of the shoulders away from the ears, and then with your next exhale, slowly start to sink a little bit more in towards that left leg as you reach the arms towards the back wall and lift the gaze in the chest. Exhale, push the hips back into space as you straighten your front leg, half splits, the hands can come to the blocks. Next to your side, or on the mat, or books, or whatever you have at home. Blocks are pretty cheap if you want to go and get a pair at Walmart. Flex the toes, and just breathe in the backside body of the leg. With your next inhale, you're gonna re-sink into that right knee and lift the chest back up to low crescent. Squeeze through the inner thighs, sink through the left leg, and then reach the arms up, take a small back bend. Pull the low core in, lift through the sternum, and then exhale, push the hips back, start to straighten the right leg. Explore the transition and not just the pose. Take your time, moving in and out, not rushing. But your next inhale, slowly start to rebend that right knee, low crescent lunge, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift through the sternum, pull the low core in. Exhale, reach the chest up, and the fingertips back towards the back wall. Exhale, last time, half splits. Start to straighten the front leg, reach the forehead down towards the shin, and the hips back into space, but keep this back leg at a 90-degree angle or more. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to rebend your right knee. This time, pop up off your back knee, low lunge. And then your next exhale, launch off your back leg to your front leg, standing splits. Lift the left heel high. Again, here is another place where we keep the back pinky toe dialed down. Instead of opening it, we open our hips here. And we might find a little bit more lift, but it's not proper. So you keep the hip dialed down and lift the heel from here. Reach the forehead down towards the shin. Maybe you challenge your balance. Maybe one or maybe both hands can come to the shin or the ankle. Maybe you grab blocks and work your way from there. But staying mindful of the body. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to bend the right knee so that you can touch the left foot back up, down on the ground. Your next inhale, lift the chest and the gaze. Tadasana, standing mountain pose, arms sweep overhead. Lift through the sternum and pull the low core in. As you exhale, take a back bend, reach the fingertips towards the back wall. Always an option to cactus the arms, bring them to a 90-degree or a goalpost angle. Inhale, the arms lift back up if you took that cactus. And then exhale, swan dive the hands down as you reach the chest forward, fold the long flat spine all the way down. Bend your knees if you need it at the bottom. And then we're gonna go back through that chaturanga flow with that child's pose in it. So bend your knees, plant your hands on the ground, step the feet back to high plank or to your tabletop position if you want to modify. Your next inhale, shift your shoulders past your wrists, lower halfway down as you squeeze your elbows in towards the rib, flip your toes, try and keep your thighs and your knees lifted as you push through the heels of the hands. Squeeze the elbows in towards one another, roll the tips of the shoulders away from the ears, pull up through the low sternum and then shine the chest towards the ceiling. And then your next exhale, drop the knees to the mat, push the hips back, almost like child's pose. Extend the arms all the way to the top of the mat. Maybe you come onto the fingertips. And then your inhale, push through your toes as you start to come back through to lift the thighs and the knees to your upward facing dog. Shine the chest towards the sky, lift through the sternum and the low floor, the belly, go back to downward facing dog, push the heels back down towards the mat, and pedal up the legs. With your next inhale, the left leg is gonna sweep high this time, three-legged dog. Keep the back pinky dialed down for now. Full inhale here, and then exhale, open the hips. So now you bend the heel towards the glute, open the hip towards the left side wall, and gaze through your left armpit. Take a couple breaths here. If you'd like to, flip the dog, take the left toes and find the mat as you bend your right knee. Flip your right foot so it faces the back wall. Lift the hips even higher and reach the arm back. And then your next inhale, slow and controlled. Enjoy the transition, explore the transition. What muscles work here? Slowly start to make your way back to three-legged down dog. Extend the heel up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bend the knee to the chest or the nose to high plank, and then thread it through Vashisthasana, either keeping the knee here, lift the right arm, or you can thread it out, hover it, or use it to help kickstand to modify. Right hand comes back down, three-legged down dog, left heel lifts high, keep the back pinky toe dialed down, then exhale, left knee to left wrist, pigeon pose, drop the hips down towards the floor. Start to draw the chest up. Again, if you need support underneath the front hip or the front glute, a block can come and assist. Or you can have a block for maybe your forehead or your arms, your elbows. As you slowly try and make your way down to sleeping pigeon now, try and rest the forehead down on the mat or on your blocks. Excuse me. And just breathe through the belly, feel the belly push against the thigh. Again, try and stay even through both hips. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to draw the chest back up. Take a moment to just sit here and lift the chest and the gaze. Notice the difference in stretch. And then with your next inhale, the hands can come back to the mat. Take the toes of the right foot on the mat. And so start to push through the right toes and lift the hips back up. As you find three-legged down dog, the left heel reaches high. Full inhale here. And then exhale, open the hip, bend the left knee. The left foot reaches toward glutes. Gaze through the left armpit. And then with your next inhale, you can draw circles on the ceiling too if you did that on the other side. Your next inhale, start to re-square the hips. Draw the right heel up, and then exhale, bring it through, low lunge, draw the knee to the chest, the foot plants between the hands, drop down to your back knee, and then full inhale, low crescent lunge, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift the chest and the arms up, and then exhale, slowly start to sink into that right hip as you reach the arms up, pull up through the low floor of the belly and the sternum, and then reach the arms and the chest up towards the back wall. And then your exhale, start to push the hips back into space as you straighten the front leg, the hands down to the earth or to blocks. Half splits, start to reach the forehead down towards the shin. Again, try and stay lifted through the back leg. Try and keep that at a 90-degree angle or more. A lot of times you'll see this. This is what I'm talking about, what I don't want to see. You want to keep that at a 90-degree angle as you reach the forehead down towards the shin. With your next inhale, slowly start to re-bend the left leg. Squeeze through the inner thighs as you lift the chest. Lengthen through the right hip. Lift through the sternum and the low part of the belly and the abdomen. Reach the arms up towards the back wall. And then exhale, push the hips back into space, half splits. And take the time to enjoy and explore transitions. Take one breath here. And then your next inhale, slowly start to re-bend the left leg, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift the arms and the chest. Exhale, slowly sink a little bit more towards that right hip. Reach the arms towards the back wall, and then exhale, push back half splits last time. Full inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe fold a little deeper. And then with your next inhale, start to re-bend the left knee. This time pop up off your back knee, and then exhale, launch off your back foot to your front foot, standing splits. The back pinky toe still dial down to keep the hips closed, but lift the right heel a little bit higher. Bring the chest, the forehead down a little closer towards the shin. Maybe you challenge yourself by grabbing one or maybe both hands back. Each exhale, trying to get a little deeper, a little bit more of a stretch. And then with your next inhale, bend your left knee so your right foot can touch the ground. Inhale, the chest lifts. Tadasana, rise to standing arms sweep overhead. And then with your exhale, lift through the sternum and the chest first, and then take your back bend, reach the arms back towards the back wall. Inhale, long flat spine all the way down. Swan dive, the arms reach the chest forward, full long flat spine all the way to the bottom. Bend the knees, plant the hands, that trotter on the flow. Make your way to high plank or tabletop. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip the toes, keep the thighs and knees lifted. Exhale, come down on the knees. Push back to that child's pose. Come on the fingertips. Inhale, back to upward facing dog. Lift the thighs and the knees. Push through the tops of the feet. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, push the hips high. Let the heels sink down towards the mat. Downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out the legs. Catch the breath if you need. And then with your next inhale, we're gonna go through it one last time. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, open the hip, bend the knee. Flip the dog if you like. Inhale, slowly start to bend the left knee, plant the right toes, flip the feet, lift the hips, reach the arm back. If you'd like even more, we can go into that bridge pose, flipping all the way over. It takes a little bit of trust. Please stay mindful of your body and yourself and your limitations. If that's not available, just stay in your flipped dog. When you're ready to go all the way back over to your downward facing dog, lift the right heel high, and then exhale, Vashisthasana, the right knee to the nose, puff up through the shoulders. Exhale, Vashisthasana, thread the right leg through, either hovering it if you'd like the challenge, or using it as a kickstand to maybe lift the hips even higher. Your next inhale, the left hand comes down, right knee tucks, lift the right heel high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through the right knee to the right wrist, pigeon pose. A little less time in this pose, less time focusing on sleeping pigeon, so that's where we're gonna start. Slowly start to lower the chest down and the hands on the mat, the forehead down. Only taking 2 breaths here. And then when you're ready, inhale, the chest lifts. Here, if you have king pigeon in your practice, you can start to take this, grabbing a strap too if you'd like, if you need one. Or maybe you just hook it in the elbow, or working all the way to your full king pigeon. I'm not quite there yet. We'll get there. Maybe I'll do a video over king pigeon too, since that could be a peak pose. But if it's not in your practice, just try and stay here lifted in pigeon pose. Trying to squeeze a little bit through the inner thighs, lift the chest, and notice how it's different from sleeping pigeon. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to tuck your left toes to find the mat, and then push through the hands and the toes to lift the right heel high, open the hip, draw the circles on the ceiling if it helps, if it feels good in your body. And then your next inhale, the right foot comes through, low lunge. Drop down on the back knee, squeeze through the inner thighs, low crescent lunge, the arms reach up, sink through that left hip as you reach the arms up and back as you lift through the sternum. Exhale, half split, start to straighten the front leg, reach the forehead down towards the shin. Going a little faster here, full inhale, rebend, lift the arms, lift the chest, lift through the sternum and the low core. Then exhale, reach the arms, take that small back bend. Exhale, push through the hands, push through the heel and straighten the leg, half splits. Start to reach the forehead down, full inhale, rebend the front knee, reach the arms up. Exhale, take that small back bend, sink through the left hip. Then exhale, push the hips back. This time, if you have full splits in your practice, you can make your way all the way there. This is my bad side. You can grab blocks too. That's another way that you can help get your way to full splits. But we can save that for another video, as well as full splits can be a peak pose. Take your time in that last pose. If you don't have your full splits, you can stay in half splits and just work to pass your limits, past that limitation, past that uncomfortable zone. And then with your next inhale, if you found full splits, make your way back to that low lunge or half splits position. Rebend that right knee and then exhale, launch off the back foot to the front foot. Standing splits, lift the left heel high. Challenge the bounce if you like. And then inhale, start to bend the right knee, touch the left floor to the ground. Inhale, the arms sweep up and overhead. Tadasana. Exhale, take the back bend, lift through the sternum and the core. Exhale, forward fold, long flat spine all the way down. Inhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, chaturanga flow. Inhale, shift the weight, the shoulders past the wrist, bend the elbows in, squeeze them towards the ribs, keep the thighs and knees lifted. Exhale, let the knees touch, push the hips back, take yourself onto your fingertips. Then as you inhale, draw the chest back up and forward, push through the tops of the feet to lift the thighs and knees. Then exhale, lift the hips up, push the heels down, downward facing dog. Last time through left side. Full inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, open the hip. Inhale, bend the right knee, plant the left foot on the ground, lift the hips even higher, or you can go all the way to your bridge pose if you'd like to flip. If not, stay here. When you're ready, inhale, all the way back to three-legged down dog. Exhale, Vashisthasana, shift your weight to high plank first, pull the knee in towards the chest, flip the toes, so you're almost going to this side plank position, and then you can thread the leg through, hover the leg, or push onto the toes and lift the hips as well. Take the right hand back down, three-legged down dog. Lift the left heel high, then exhale, left knee to left wrist, pigeon pose. Drop the hips, block underneath the front glute if you need it. All the way down to the elbows. For sleeping pigeon, rest the forehead on whatever is available. Take one more breath here. With your next inhale, lift the chest back up. If you have king pigeon in your practice, option to do it now. If not, just stay here. Maybe you take hands to block to help keep you propped up. Again, stay even on both hips. If you start to roll out, that's not the pose. So stay evenly rooted through both legs. If king pigeon is in your practice, you can slowly start to make your way there. A little bit better on the side. Your next inhale, tuck the right toes or the back toes to the mat. Take the hands to the earth, and then slowly start to lift the hips up. Push the hips high, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, open the hips, bend the left knee. Gaze through the left armpit, draw the circles on the ceiling. And then your next inhale, the left foot comes through to the hands, low lunge, drop to the back knee. Inhale, low crescent lunge, squeeze through the inner thighs, arms lift through the low core and the sternum first. Then as you exhale, sink more in towards that right leg as you reach the arms back towards the back wall. Exhale, half split, start to straighten the front leg, reach the forehead down towards the shin, push the hips back in space. Inhale, rebend, lift the arms up, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift the chest towards the back wall. Exhale, push the hips back, start to straighten the front leg, reach the forehead down. Inhale, rebend, squeeze through the inner thighs, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, take the small back bend. Inhale, start to re-straighten the front leg, bring the hands back down to the shin, or sorry, the earth or the blocks. And then from here, making your way to full splits if it's available, or staying in half splits and trying to deepen and work your way towards full splits. Wherever you are, staying with the breath. Wherever it feels tight and tense, use the breath to send the energy there. Take one more breath here. And then with your next inhale, slowly start to make your way back to a low lunge, rebend the left knee, pop up off the back knee, and then exhale, launch off the back foot to the front leg. To your standing splits, really push through the left leg to extend yourself up and reach the right heel a little bit higher. One, maybe both hands. To the calf, to challenge the balance. And then with your next inhale, rebend the left knee, plant the right foot to the floor, engage the core as you rise to standing arms sweep overhead. And then exhale, take that back bend, lift through the low floor of the abdomen and the sternum, and then reach the arms back towards the back wall. Exhale, long flat spine all the way down, forward fold. And then bend the knees, plant the hands, take your last chaturanga. And when you push back to child's pose or embryo pose this time, you can just stay there and enjoy the stillness after a lot of movement. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Hope all is well. Namaste, guys.